everyone, my name is Christina Flores, and for today's video, we're going to talk about plant taxonomy. There are a lot of plants out there which can get overwhelming when you're trying to identify different plants. But if you want to understand the basic of hierarchy system, the plant scientists use to name plants, you better equip for identifying plants. It's helpful to look at the characteristic features. What is the importance of plant taxonomy? To better understand, let's define what is plant taxonomy. Taxonomy or systematic is the study or description, variation among organisms in order to come out with a classification system. Organisms that arrange into groups enable a large population to be categorized and understand. Plants taxonomy is important because it will arrange the elements or taxa of plants into systematic manner so that they can better understand and could be used easily and more effectively. It will also arrange the data or information and knowledge about plants, indicate the source and genetic relationship or phylogenetic, ancestry and origin of plants, and indicate the distribution and habitats of plants on Earth and their benefits. The primary goals of plants taxonomy is to identify, characterize, name, and categorize the plants. Crucial for providing a detailed overview of the morphological and anatomical characteristic of plants. It is also crucial for providing overview of morphological and anatomical characteristic of plants. In the spheres of agriculture, plant taxonomy is essential for identifying wild relatives and locating croplands that are grown into a specific location by a particular ethics or group. Furthermore, taxonomy composed of different components: the classification, identification, nomenclature, and description. We can say characteristic is a plant are arranged into groups of similar characteristic. The groups are considered as a categories or taxa and from the taxonomic system. The identification, this form is to identify and desire the name of an organism by referring to an existing classification. The nomenclature is one of the most important components to provide the scientific name to an organism. Why we use or need scientific name? The use of common name for many organisms can be confusing. The last is description. This form is to describe the characteristic of taxa, for example, family. Nomenclature is necessary because in order to provide the correct name of the plant, the naming activity is under the control of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, or ICBN, published by the International Association of Plant Taxonomy, or IATP. Common names can refer to a variety of organism types that belong to a various species. They can also vary from one region and one language to another. By using scientific names, we are also to name and classify the species in a systematic way, making it easy to tell one organism apart from another. Halimbawa, sa Pilipinas, iba-iba ang tawag sa mga species depende sa pinanggalingan niyang probinsya. For example, this plant is called coconut in English. It is also coco or cocotero in Spanish. In the Philippines, it is called niyog in Tagalog, lubi in Bisaya or Cebuano, mungol in Pampanga. To avoid confusion and identification, the scientific community decided to officially call this Cocos nocifera. Mula sa name niyang Cocos nocifera, pwede nating makita ang iba pang mga level katulad ng classification, kagaya ng domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, at species. Difficult name which can use to be label organism. For example, we have a Pyrus malus for apple, Mosa paradisum for banana. Carolus Linnaeus adopted that the binomial nomenclature and stated that the scientific name of species is made up of Latin names, the first name being the generic name that identifies the genus to which the species belong, second name being the specific name that identify the species within the genus. We can name organism conveniently thanks to taxonomy and the binomial system of nomenclature.
Have a pleasant evening to each and everyone. I am Javelin Lipaga, a BS Agriculture student at Negros Oriental State University at Pamplona Extension, major in Animal Science. Okay, this time, we will be able to discuss or to give the definition of the following terms: the kingdom, division, order, class, species, genus, and family. So let's give first the definition of the word kingdom. Kingdom is a taxonomic rank that is composed of smaller groups called phyla or divisions in plants supplement. The next term we defined is the word division. So division is a taxonomic rank in biological classification. We also have here the word or the term class. So class, it is a group of related taxonomic orders. Next is the word order. Order is one of the 8 major hierarchical taxonomic ranks in Linnaean taxonomy. We also have here the term family. So family, it is classified between order and genus. Next is the word genus. So genus is a biological classification ranking between family and species. And the last word that we defined is the word species. So species is a biological species is a group of organisms that can reproduce with one and another in nature and produce fertile offspring.
So good day everyone, I am Melika Salitero, so I'll be the one to discuss the water movements of plants. So the factors needed for plant growth and a plant growth hormone. So the movement of water in plants require long distance water movements to survive. All plants have a certain point at which survival is no longer viable. Water can make up around 85% of the fresh weight of leaves. A leaf can evaporate all of its water weight in just 1 hour on a dry, warm, sunny day. The cell's absorption of water must make up for the water lost through the leaves. The movement of water is crucial for absorption of vital mineral nutrients from the soil. Water movement is passively driven by pressure and chemical potential gradients. The bulk of water absorbed and transported through plants is moved by negative pressure generated by the evaporating of water from the leaves, which is what we call transpiration. So this process is commonly referred to as the cohesion tension mechanism. The system is able to function because water is cohesive. It sticks to itself through forces generated by hydrogen bonding. Next is the factors that needed for plant growth. When planting a flower bed or a vegetable garden, it is important to understand what plants need to grow. So there are 4 main factors which can affect the growth of your plants. They are water, light, nutrients, and temperature. So these 4 things affect the growth hormones of the plant, which will either make the plant grow quickly or slowly. So making changes to any of these four things can cause stress to the plant, which in turn can change or stunt the growth or improve the growth. So the first is light. Plants have evolved throughout time in different locations throughout the world. For this reason, plants have adapted to different types of light. There are some plants that cannot adapt easily to a new condition. The light and the temperature changes that come in the spring will stimulate plants to break dormancy and start to grow new leaves. So when purchasing plants, it is important to make sure that you have an area in mind to plant them so that they get the amount of sunlight that they require each day. Next is water. In order to survive, plants need to have water. Most plants are made up of nearly 90% water. Without appropriate amounts of water, plants will be stressed and eventually die. Water provides plants with nourishment and hydration. Water that is in the soil will break down minerals and other elements of the soil. When the plants absorb water through their roots, they will also be picking up nutrients that will travel to the cells of the plant. However, providing too much water can also cause plants to die. So it is important that you look up information about how much water your plants need and be sure to provide them with this amount in order to promote healthy growth. Next is the temperature. Weather or temperature plays an important role in plant growth. Plants will slow down or speed up their growth rate based on the temperature. Warm temperature encourages growth and germination. A warmer temperature will actually trigger a chemical reaction inside the cells of a plant, and this will speed up respiration, transpiration, and the photosynthesis process. Next is the nutrients. So there are certain nutrients that plants need in order to grow, which is the carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen are three of the nutrients that plants need. They get this from water and from air. If a plant lacks any nutrient, plant growth can be stunted. So one of the best ways to ensure proper plant growth is to using natural compost or manure in the soil. This will add the missing nutrients to the soil as well as provide new nutrients for the plants. So if you want to have a healthy garden, you could spend months researching all of the plant growth factors. However, the most important thing to keep in mind that if you are practicing sound gardening techniques, you are going to produce healthy plants. Next is the 5 plant growth hormone. Before we proceed to the 5 plant hormones, let's know first what is plant hormones or phytohormones. So phytohormones are chemical compounds which present in very low concentrations in plants. They regulate plant development, growth, longevity, and reproductive process. So now let's move forward to the different plant hormones. So first is auxin hormone. Auxin means to grow. They are widely used in agricultural and horticultural practices. They are found in growing apices of roots and stems and then migrate to other plants to act. The functions of auxin hormone. Auxin hormones promote cell growth and differentiation, especially on the tips of plants. It controls plants' response to light, induces paternocarpy, development of fruit without fertilization in tomatoes, prevents premature fall of leaves, flowers, and fruits. Next is the gibberellin hormone. They are acidic nature. These are found in higher plants and fungi, which helps in breaking dormancy in seeds and buds. So it can be used in the production of seedless fruits. So the functions of gibberellins: promotes bolting, sudden elongation of internodes just before flowering, and rosette plants like cabbage, elongation of the stem, and reverses to dwarfism, induces mildness, and certain plants like cannabis induces the formation of hydrolytic enzymes such as lipase, amylase in endosperm of germination cereal grains and barley seeds. Next is the cytokinins hormone. Cytokinins play an important role in cytokinase process. So the movement of cytokinins is bicipital and polar. So the function of cytokinins, it promotes lateral and adventitious shoot growth and used to initiate growth in culture. It helps in the rapid division in seeds and fruits. The last one is the abscisic acid. Abscisic, it is a growth inhibiting hormone. ABAs act as an antagonist to gas. It inhibits plant metabolism and regulates abscission and dormancy. It is also called stress hormone as it increases the tolerance of plants. So the functions of abscisic hormone or abscisic acid. It promotes dormancy in seeds and buds. It promotes wilting and falling of leaves. Next is the ethylene plant hormone. It acts as a growth promoter as well as an inhibitor. Occurs in gaseous form, it is synthesized in the ripening fruits and tissues. It regulates many physiological processes and one of the most widely used hormones in agriculture. The functions of ethylene hormones. It hastens the ripening of fruits, controls spinacity of leaves, breaks seeds and bud dormancy, and stimulates rapid elongation of petioles and internodes. So that could be all for this video. Thank you and have a fruitful day to everyone.